All right, thank you guys for being patient, everybody here. I appreciate you. First and foremost, let me close the door a little bit. So, first and foremost, beauty water. Next is thank you very much for donating your time and energy to me. Because like dollar bills, this is currency. I consider it to be electric currency. You guys are all paying me your attention and your time, energy, and I'm going to talk about how what we're doing is medicine, okay? Amongst many other things. So I'm a man called David, okay? I'm also considered an enagic independent distributor. What that means is independently, I take it upon myself to distribute Kangen water to the community. Also, I'm distributing knowledge, experience, love, compassion, understanding, certain things. But right there it says independent distributor. Enagic is the water ionizer company, and I am not a doctor. I do not work for the company, but I do work with the company because the machines, they changed my life. I was 320 pounds and I had a long list of medical illnesses, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. Okay, this spirit inside of this biological vehicle was suffocating, it was dying, it was diminished over a 15-year period of toxicity, but toxic thoughts, toxic behavior, toxic all around. Okay, the water was the first thing that I found, but I'll tell you, I do have history and experience in the medical field. I'm not utilizing any of my licenses or degrees that I've acquired. I'm just a man. But this is not to be taken for medical advice. It's for education and entertainment purposes only. And like I said, 320 pounds, now 200 pounds. But also what you can see in the physical is a reflection of the emotional. It's a reflection of the internal. And the internal is where I had to do a lot of my work. And so I'm wearing a shirt right now that says, "Go float yourself." And we've got a float tank here in Bandon. I spent a lot of time, this man, as a sick individual in that float tank doing all of my internal work. But what is that? That's water therapy, because that water floating, that's magnesium, Epsom salt, and I was integrating my body's waters, cleaning it out, but also doing a lot of emotional work. I needed to detox because this is also my before picture. That's who I was. I was very toxic, and fat is a Tupperware for toxins. So my body was utilizing the fat because it had a job. And if I didn't detox properly, my body wasn't going to burn that fat. It needed it. So my body burned glucose or sugar, simple sugars. It turns out that really, once I detoxed my body, did a little bit of exercise, increased my heart rate, my body went to work and started working on that fat, and that's 1 year difference. So that's cleaning out my body and not retoxing. That's not just what I put in my mouth, but also what I listen to, what I put into my eyes, who I hang out with. I started making friends with people named Happy. So guess what? I start to become happy too. Exactly. It's contagious. Why is it contagious? Because we each, every single one of us, have the ability to broadcast messages that cannot be seen. They can be felt. And we've been disconnected from that. But what this water does, because your body is primarily water, so its number one ingredient is what? Water. Okay, but if it's dead water, if it's acidic and oxidizing like this, so this is just a sanitizing water. It's made by the water ionizer, and I've cleaned the end of this probe. But just as a little test right here, we've got an alkaline water. This says 9.5 pH alkaline. So what's the difference between this alkaline water and the alkaline water that you guys come in and get every day? The difference is it's positively charged, which means it's going to promote inflammation and degradation at a cellular level. Okay, this is the same as soda. Sprite also has a positive ability to produce inflammation and degradation. So we've got people who are drinking alkaline water in the store coming out of a bottle, thinking that they're doing a good job, but really at a cellular level, they're promoting inflammation, they're promoting degradation, just like soda. So the difference though between this, well, this was tap water.
I have a question though.
Go ahead.
So when you say positively charged, it sounds like that's a good thing.
No, it's
but
not.
We want it to be at like a
Negative.
base at a 0 level versus positive.
Negative, so 0 is neutral.
Got it.
0 is neutral.
Got it.
And everything that is, that's going down real slow.
So the goal of...
So think about this. I'm going to explain it. I'll continue to explain real quick. That's
Okay.
right. pH is voltage.
Got it.
So if it has a charge and it's negatively charged, then that means it can reduce oxidation. It's reduction. And this water is considered electrolyzed, reduced water. It's reduced, so it reduces inflammation at a cellular level.
But it's positively charged.
No. Well, this bad stuff is, yeah. So the bad stuff is positively charged, which means it's going to promote inflammation. So think about when you live next to the ocean and all the salt in the air, it'll rust your car. And that rusting process is called oxidation. The salt is positively charged, so it promotes oxidation and breakdown. These are all positively charged, so they're going to promote oxidation and breakdown. If I put a bunch of nails, like hammer and nails, in this water, they'll rust because it's oxidizing and it's positively charged. It needs the electron. It steals the electron. And that's what this water does to the body. When you drink the water, it's filled with scavengers. They're in a state of lack. They're lacking the voltage that they need, but we have the voltage. So this water will steal the electrons from your body to neutralize itself. Well, what about you? Where do you get your electrons from? If pH is voltage and voltage is healing, then the fruits are going to donate their electrons to you to help replenish your electron bank account. And if your bank account goes dry or you start to overdraft, then that's where I said before the spirit inside of my body was dying, because I was in severe overdraft mode and I was in a constant state of fear and lack. And so this water here is negatively charged, so negative 176.
Oh,
Which
it's
means,
negative. I thought you said it was positive.
no, this is positive. This bad stuff is positive. So it's going to steal the electrons from your body. But this has electrons. That's why it's negatively charged. It has an abundance of electrons. And so what we're going to do is this water is going to donate its electron currency to you without becoming a free radical scavenger. And let's just zoom past this stuff real quick. So that's how I picture the human body, is we all have an energy field, and love is one of the strongest frequencies. And so if you go around with fear and lack and scarcity, then your biosphere is going to diminish and you're not going to be able to affect the world or the people around you. But if you walk with gratitude and love and ambition, then that's what happens. And like I said, diet's not just what you eat, it's everything. It's who you hang around with, it's who you interact with, it's what you watch and what you listen to. It's going to affect your emotional body. And so right here, what are we watching? How, if our body is basically a computer system, it runs off of the electricity found in what? In blueberries, leafy greens, right? When's the best time to eat the apple? When it's still connected to the tree, because it's absorbing all of the life force energy from the earth. So it has the most amount of electrons to donate in that moment. This water does the same thing, donates electrons. And most of what we're dealing with is dehydration. And like thirst, for example, I'm a little parched. It's because I'm talking a lot, but it might be just because I'm dehydrated. And this is one of the last signs of dehydration. Hunger is sometimes the first sign. Because if you have a dry digestion system, then it's going to say, hey, give me water. And we think, I'm hungry. So I put food down my mouth, but then my body requires water to break down that food. Now I'm more dehydrated and I'm worse off than I was before. The other thing is water is not digested, it's absorbed. So right when I put it in my mouth, my whole entire mouth was revitalized, because right away, like a dry sponge in the desert, my mouth needed the water and that's where it absorbed it. But this is what is going to clear up the negative positive issue. Because what happens at a cellular level when electrons are stolen from you, then the cell begins to die. And so this water is positively charged, which means it needs your ions, it needs your electricity. So it's going to steal your electrons, diminishing you at a cellular level. But this water is going to donate electrons, increasing your cellular voltage. And that's what it's all about, is cellular voltage, because you're not one person. You're a community of 130 trillion cells. And if those cells are diminished in their voltage, then aches and pains, inflammation, eventually a tumor, cancer, and death. And that's cellular death. And so Alzheimer's and dementia is too many heavy metals, too much toxicity, and a decrease in cellular voltage in the brain. There's your Alzheimer's and dementia. The neurons aren't firing and they're not wired like they should be. And so what can we do? Same like the apple. The apple, the avocado, if you take half and put it next to your Wi-Fi router, it'll turn brown faster, because that Wi-Fi, the electromagnetic frequencies, or if you take half of that and put it in this water, it'll brown even faster. You have a question?
No.
Okay. Sources of EMF, that's what I'm saying. Free radical scavengers. And this is the environment that we're all living in right now.
What does EMF stand for?
Electromagnetic frequencies.
Frequencies.
Yep. And those, what they do is they require your electron voltage to neutralize themselves, and that's all it is. Same like soda, same like this fake alkaline water. It requires your electron currency to neutralize itself. But luckily, we've got antioxidants that donate electrons to your body. So the free radicals don't have to scavenge from you. There's plenty to go around. And so my friend made a really, 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 really awesome point. If you're a community of cells and your cells are being bombarded by free radical scavengers, then what does that mean? That means you're in a state of survival. You're just trying to survive against the world at a cellular energetic level. So what do you need? You need the juice bar, because the juice bar's got good vibes. We've got the water, we've got the fruit, we've got the communication, the interaction. We shake hands and we give hugs. And so that's called an electron donation. And you guys make a donation to the tip jar, and that's a monetary donation. But we all know that the love is why people come in, and also the antioxidants, because that's what we need. Okay, but here's some other really good ways to increase your spiritual vibration, your cellular voltage, is just meditate. I have a hard time being silent, as you can probably tell. But when you meditate and you go in, that's when you start to make these connections and you start to really grow as a person at a spiritual level. But give help, be in service. And so I love this being in here, because always, how can I help? What can I do? How can I help? And it's the most selfish thing that I can do, but it's also the best thing that we can do for each other. Stretch, detox, that's what I did. And then also realize that you are far more powerful than this world wants you to believe. Right, Happy?
Amen.
Amen. Because this is what we think we are. But this is really who we are. But where are you getting your energy from? If you're getting it from any of these, then you're not getting your energy. And if your body's primarily made of water, and this water is constantly putting you in a state of survival and lack, then it's going to be 2 steps forward, 5 steps back, and we're not going to get ahead. Okay, so that's why this stuff, we already know about this stuff. Fried foods, tobacco, liquor, all this stuff is like poison. And it's going to decrease our cellular voltage. So then what do we have to do? We have to raise our vibration with gratitude is the highest vibration. Are you grateful?
Amen.
Amen, me too. We have a lot to be grateful for. And so especially here, because what we're doing is it's a hydration revitalization station, right? And not just this juice bar, but you too. Everywhere you go, you are the ionizer. You have the ability to change your environment with gratitude, with love, with appreciation, with service, with acts of kindness.
Can I take a picture of that?
You can take a picture, of course.
Let's send it to my friend.
Yeah, go ahead. Come on up. Take a picture. Because it's also the best way for us to increase our immune system. That's your cellular voltage is your immune system. So you can increase or decrease your immune system by following these steps. Here's a really, really good cellular voltage. That's the cell. Negative 70 millivolts is the charge of a healthy cell. But if that charge starts to decrease, then we start to become sick. It's plain and simple. When you give your body the voltage that it needs, you can't. But down here, then the cell starts to divide and replicate into another unhealthy cell. Unhealthy cell. Then now it's a domino effect in the wrong direction.
But that's not decreasing, that's
increasing cellular voltage. It goes negative. So it's not like your school's
it's going from 70 to 50,
which is an increase in cellular voltage, or like a decrease, but it's going in the opposite direction.
Got it.
So the closer you get to zero, is death. And this is going to tug of war you back onto the other side, because it's positive, what was it, 800? And so at a cellular level, all it's doing is stealing your electrons. So if it steals your electrons, then that voltage starts to decrease. And then we have inflammation at a cellular level, and our body's constantly trying to balance itself, and it's having a hard time. Free radicals, right? Those are the ones that steal the electrons, but what happens down the road is all of these, diabetes, like arterial sclerosis, just all of these things that we know, hypertension, chronic inflammation, lupus, all of your autoimmune disorders start with oxidative stress. And it's gotten to the point where the oxidative stress is so bad that your body has identified itself as the problem. There's your autoimmune disorders, 100% of the time. And so all we have to do is tip the scale back in the other direction. It's not a secret anymore. Here's the 11.5, right? This one was city water. And we'll do this, and we'll do this. And I'll take this, put it right there.
Whoa.
Pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, and the only reason why they're not on the fruit is because it's oil-based, and water and oil aren't supposed to mix. Okay?
Wow.
So this, if you taste these, they actually taste better too, because if you think about hydration, you want to taste one?
Sure.
If you think about hydration, at a cellular level, the tomato has it's called a semi-permeable membrane. We have semi-permeable membranes just like the tomatoes have semi-permeable membranes, which means water's supposed to go in and out. And if we're washing our produce with city tap water, chlorine, okay, is being transferred into the produce, but also we're not removing pesticides, we're not rehydrating, we're not revitalizing, we're not doing anything. But with this, we can remove oil-based pesticides. I can't prove it, I can only show you this difference, but I know that it's doing it from the inside too. This water will detox my body, it's gonna detox the tomatoes too, at a cellular level. Increase the voltage, which would also make these more antioxidizing, more beneficial, more bioavailable in the body than these. And so that's why your celery juice tastes so good, because we were able to remove all of the bad stuff.
I can tell the difference.
And then rehydrate that celery, but also donate the electrons to give it life.
It's
because
such a distinct difference in taste.
I asked him if he put sweetener in my juice the other day because it was so sweet.
Well, in mine was like, because I've been juicing organic celery at home and I wash it I am washing with my tap water in Portland, but I do it every morning and it's organic, it's new season, it's super expensive, but then it's such a vast difference when I brought my juicer here last time and juiced it, but then I brought it in for them and I was like, wow, this morning I was like, that is crazy different.
Well, this is Evian. I poured Evian right here.
Yeah.
I want you to just understand that Evian is an anagram for naive, because it's not good water. They advertise it like it's glacier made from the French Alps. Well, the French Alps promote oxidation and inflammation at a cellular level. So not only that though, all of these do. Fiji, right? So they've been.
How much does the plastic contribute to that?
Most of it.
Because it's
Yes.
leaching.
But
right into the
also,
water.
how much does sitting in a hot warehouse for months?
That's what I mean. It's like it's leaching
Exactly.
because it's leaching
Yes.
into that water.
And it's old.
That's what I mean.
It's old water.
So it leaches.
So all bottled water will give this result. Positive 200, which
It's in plastic.
is oxidizing and acidic, and then.
If zero would kill you,
Well, no, not this. I'm talking. So that's a great observation.
right? Zero is your death level when you're coming up from
At
70 to
a
0.
cellular level, but you were divinely created by a perfect creator. So this water is not going to kill you. It's death by 1,000 cuts. Think about it that way. A paper cut's not going to kill you, but if you get 10 million of them
Yes.
at one time, so it just depends. Negative 200, and this is my personal water. I will not drink it unless it's going to antioxidize me, unless it's going to hydrate me and provide electron currency for my brain. And that's what it does, negative 300. So really, really, really good. And then that's the electron currency. That's reducing free radical damage. The other part, like I said, is pH. So pH is voltage. So what would you expect from that, right? Alkaline. You're going to get the purple means alkaline, 9.5. Healing is voltage and pH is voltage. This one here is also going to be purple-ish. Okay, Fiji, not as good.
That's a pH tester.
The colors indicate pH, acid or base. And this, like we said before, we know it's alkaline because they added all of those synthetic minerals to make it alkaline. But when we tested the voltage, it was dead water, it was oxidizing and promoted inflammation. And so this is how they trick you, by thinking that it's alkaline. But what it can do is these minerals, like I said before, on the back here, it's calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, potassium bicarbonate, and electrolytes for taste. It's a BPA-free bottle, 100% recycled. It's got all the advertisement that would suggest health. You would grab it off the thing, but it's going to promote oxidative stress. And then, of course, this, which one was that one? Yeah, so that's another alkaline. That's probably one of these. Who knows? I forget. The other thing, too, another really good one, is what are we showering in? So we already discussed the produce and city water being semi-permeable, so we're able to remove pesticides, but what did those absorb? Probably the chlorine. And so this is that chart that I probably should have showed you. So right here, 9.5, alkaline, negatively charged, okay, promotes health and wellness. Then acidic, and I had a straw, so you can see that some of these are neutral. But you know what really, really, really upsets me is when I was playing sports as a kid growing up, I would drink Propel water because it's Gatorade product, and Gatorade is saturated in youth sports And that's basically all I drank, and I promise you it's worse than soda. And so I was a baseball, and my calves would cramp when I'm stealing a base, and then all of a sudden I can't do it because my muscles cramp. And pain like you wouldn't believe. That's the reason, 100% of the time, guaranteed. It's gonna dehydrate me, it's gonna create more lactic acid, and my body's gonna be in survival mode. So positively charged, like before, promotes inflammation. Okay. Beauty water is slightly acidic. So if 7.0 is neutral, then 6.0 is slightly acidic, but so is my skin, so is my hair, so is the plants require slightly acidic. And so if you're collecting beauty water, which you certainly can get from up here, then put it in a spray bottle or get it in something like this, because you're gonna want to, after a shower, for example, if you're showering in city water or well water, it's acidic, it's oxidizing, and that chlorine is gonna dry out your skin. So what I always do is I fill up a 1 gallon thing and I take it into the shower with me, and after I'm done with the shower, I just dump it over my body, because I want to rebalance the pH of my skin so I can stay looking beautiful.
You sell those little squirt bottles?
I do, yep, $2.
Nice.
And then also I
Sold.
put essential oils too. Do you like Nag Champa? Have you heard
I
of
love
these?
Nag Champa.
Yeah.
I hate
I've never
patchouli.
heard of that one. Oh, me too.
So that's the beauty water. It's fresh. Go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, but it doesn't have that smell when it comes out of there.
No, I add the essential oils. So also, but the beauty water, what I'm saying is like, we've got 3 out of 4 of us right now are females. So there's a huge push for commercialized beauty products. And none of it is as simple as water. And it's gonna tighten and tone and rehydrate, recalibrate the skin.
Really good.
Okay, 2.5, that's what I had inside of this thing. I was using it to keep the probe clean, but I also use it as my toothpaste. So I'll do a little mason jar of 2.5 and a mason jar of 11.5, and I'll dip my toothbrush, and I'm killing bacteria. And so also I've noticed that my gum health has improved. So any periodontal disease or anything that I would have had, beat it right now with water. But it's not just water, it's Kangen water. And then also mouthwash, gargle, if you have like a strep throat. I've had people come in here with like a strep throat or swollen tonsils is really common. Dave, I've got swollen tonsils, I don't want to get sick, what do? Gargle 2.5. You'll kill whatever bacteria is right there, you'll help the tonsils do what they're already trying to do, and then gargle with 11.5. Let's decrease inflammation, a huge electron donation to the body, and by the next day, no swollen tonsils. So people are coming in to me and they say, Dave, my doctor did this, what do? I don't know, let's see what the water can do, because the body is already trying to do it. The water's gonna help the body do it better, period, that's all.
If we get one of these machines, are we able to get the 11.5 on that machine too?
Yeah.
Correct, yes. So the machine makes 7 different types of water. What we share freely and openly is all the drinking water and the beauty water. And then if you're interested and you want to give it a try, we'll fill up a jug for you in the back from our big commercial unit. We've got, I don't know where they're at, but the 11.5 is also super beneficial. So they both come out at the same time. You press one button, you get 2 waters. And so what we do is we collect them. If you want one, we'll give you 2. And you use it, so the 2.5 breaks down bacteria like Salmonella, E. coli, so that's your sanitizer. This one is this one. It breaks down and removes oils. So shampoo, Denise uses this to wash her dreads. She hasn't used chemical shampoo or anything since she's had them. And you smell them, there's no smell. How come they don't smell like anything? Because I'm just using 11.5, that's it. So that's always her answer. And most people would expect, but also look at that, chlorine. Why do we have cancer so much in our society and our culture? From the chlorine. Our soup, if you go to any restaurant, what are they putting in your food? What are they washing their vegetables with? Nothing against them. However, you're getting it in your body. And so if I wash my hands 100 times a day and I absorb. So I'm going to prove it to you right now with this, because this is Bandon City tap water. Okay, Bandon City tap water. And then this, just like the pH, these drops detect chlorine. So the darker the color, it's going to turn yellow. That means the higher concentration of chlorine. So I'm going to you saw me pour from that. Let's see where my straw is. So you can see there's chlorine, okay? I'm going to just do this for just a few, 5, 6. I'm washing my hands before your smoothie, okay? All right, I'm a good hand washer. Okay, now I'm going to test water. It's about 5 or 7 drops on each one. Where did the chlorine go?
So gross. In your skin.
It went into my body.
Yes.
Fast. Okay? Same thing for mouthwash. When you brush your teeth, when you put your toothbrush and you brush your teeth, your body's going to absorb the chlorine. It takes seconds. Okay, that's why I do a mason jar of 2.5 and a mason jar of 11.5, and I'm killing bacteria, and then I'm rebalancing the pH of my mouth and giving it an electron donation. I don't use city water unless I absolutely have to, and that's the only reason is because sometimes you have to.
Like to shower.
But also, you guys are coming in here and you're drinking the water, so what does that do? It flushes the poisons from your body, just like it did for me when I was 320 pounds. I had full of toxins. Let's assume it was mostly chlorine. The water helped me flush it out. And so that's the balance. However, this company offers shower filter, which I have at the house. My grandpa used to have these skin cancers that he'd have to go to the dermatologist and get burned off of him. Gone. Most likely because of the chlorine that he was showering. So as often as I can, I take a shower in their shower. If I'm not able to, I have a chlorine filter, and then I dump beauty water over my head, a gallon of it. It's freezing cold most of the time.
So what about water filters like Brita, like when you're, like we filter all of our
Yeah,
water?
that'll filter out chlorine, no problem.
So that's what we use at home, and we never drink from the tap itself.
Well, there's probably still like some trace pharmaceuticals that can't always be filtered out. A lot of birth control hormones.
Yeah.
Things like that are in our city water supply. If you're on well, that's a whole nother boat of issues because each well is different. Some located near farms or bogs will have pesticide residue in the water table. We have high iron over there by the golf course. Everyone that lives over there, there's a layer of iron in the earth that's going through most people's well water. So there's like issues that we have that we can't really do about. But why does this exist? Literally, it's a poison and it's inside of all of us. So the best thing we can do is what you guys are doing is flush it out, but also keep in mind that most of our chronic illness comes from chronic inflammation. And that's the first domino that starts is oxidative stress, chronic inflammation, down the road is cancer. So how can we reduce inflammation is by increasing antioxidants. But this water, Kangen water, has way more electrons than any of these on this list by leaps and bounds. So 1 glass of Kangen water is like a couple pounds of goji berries. Unless you eat a couple pounds every single day, you better be coming in here and filling up your water. And so that's where you're going to get your electrons from, that's where you're going to get your antioxidants from. And this water makes every single one of these more bioavailable in the body. So if you combine the two, then you're increasing this potential to reduce oxidation. It's a 1-2 punch, and you'll never lose. If you're on this path towards antioxidation and detoxification, the body will heal itself, period. Okay, another good choice, right? Oh, this exactly explains. So green tea, 16 glasses of green tea is the same as 1 glass of Kangen water. 5 pounds of blueberries, 12 pounds of broccoli, here's 1.5 liter, and then you're not going to get that in a day. So I drink a gallon at least, right? You too,
Yeah.
well, close to it.
Yeah.
And so you're getting, think about 700 bananas. That's a lot of antioxidants,
That's crazy.
It is, and you don't have to digest any of it. So Happy, that's the one I recommend for you because you're a traveling man in an RV.
Yep.
It's got 5 plates. That's the same like 5 lightning bolts, because this water can be found in nature when lightning strikes a pond or a lake. That surge of electricity, it restructures the molecules of the water, and that's what happens inside that machine. So this has 5 plates to conduct the electricity. These have 7. This one has 8. That's over there by the window, so it's even more powerful, more antioxidants. The commercial unit that we have in the back has 12 plates. The reason is because it's this one and this one combined. So 7 plus 5 is 12. That's drinking water and cleaning water. It utilizes 5 separate individual plates to just make the cleaning water. That's why we always want to do 2.5 and 11.5 in the back, because it has the capabilities to just crank out cleaning water like you wouldn't even believe. And so this one is a real popular one. That one we've got right there because it looks nicer. This one I recommend for anybody who has already dealt with chronic illness for years of their life and they finally want to start.
So of them, which one does the cleaning and the?
All of them.
Oh, they
Except
have
for
both.
except for the shower unit.
Oh God.
Yeah, shower unit only. It's not an electrical process. So the shower unit has minerals from Japanese hot springs. It's like tufa. I can't remember the exact mineral composition, but it filters all the impurities out of the water and then it remineralizes the water, and it's so soft. It's so
How often do you
nice.
have to change the filters?
Depends on how bad your source water is. If it's really, really bad, also depends on how much water you produce. So here we have to do filters every 3 months.
Got it.
But I also do cleanings like every 2 weeks. And so I'm cleaning, I'm maintaining. Basically, how long will a Toyota, a Honda, or a Subaru last? Depends on how well you take care of it. So that's the same like this. This is Japanese medical technology. They've been in business for over 45 years, and they make all of these ionizers. And so unless you can collect the water after lightning strike, the only way you can get medical grade ionized water is through one of these devices. It's the only medical grade one on the market. Okay, and that's it for this presentation. However, I do want to show
How does
you,
it ionize the water?
it's all electricity. It's the disassociation of the water molecules. So
Whatever the plates are.
the plates are medical grade platinum titanium. So it's a platinum plate dipped in titanium.
Got it.
Or the opposite. It's a titanium plate dipped in platinum.
Got it.
And so it's medical grade platinum, and as the water trickles through those plates, the molecules are
charges it.
separated.
Got it.
That's why there's an out water. And then what comes out of the top is a new molecular structure with hydrogen-oxygen bond. And there's an extra hydrogen which donates its electron to the bond.
Got it.
That's how it works. So it's just it's like a new Lego structure. But here's 2 books this is the last. I'm gonna let you guys go right now. But these books are very important. You might not want to like read them, but definitely be aware of them. So the resonance effect, this vibrational resonance creator that I've been throwing at you for the last hour, that's resonance. Like I said before, the hug, the heart, gratitude, it creates a vibration. Truth has a vibration. Some people are very good at discerning truth from a lie because of the vibration. And it just does something to the body, which is why this book is important. The Hidden Messages in Water. Okay? So this water, if we were to gather around and pray over the water, we can use our energy, our resonance. If we're grateful, if we're loving, we can structure the water. And this scientist, his name is Masaru Emoto, he proved it, that a thought can change the crystalline structure of water. The intention, if I were to take a piece of paper and write love, but also truly have a loving intention and just place that paper over the water and walk away, that intention is going to structure the water. So that's how powerful frequency, energy, and vibration really is it leaves a resonance even on a piece of paper after you walk away from it. So my point is, and I'll close with this because it's the best point that I could possibly make after all this, is that your body, this physical, biological vehicle, is primarily made of water. So what you say, what you think, how you feel is going to structure that water. And so if you're saying to, if you're down on yourself, oh, stupid, why do you always gotta be so stupid? The water's listening. It doesn't know that you're kidding. It's gonna follow suit. It's gonna hold that resonance vibration. So I try to tell people, be careful what you say, but also be careful how you talk to yourself. Because the water is listening, and you want that water to have a message that's going to promote healing rather than the opposite. And that's what most of us are dealing with, is the opposite. So it starts inside and it resonates outside. Okay? Yes. Thank you.
And you guys sell that book too.